Hello, I'm Evie. Welcome to Horizon Zero Dawn. We're still in the Zero Dawn facility, and we're moving on. Let's see who will await us through there. Ooh.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
Yeah, right. Funny. You're not coming here, are you?
Not alone.
Oh, frick. Good start. Really good start. Okay, didn't even see you.
No, you're out.
Do you? Will you do something about it? How about you? Ooh. Honestly. He's been patiently waiting there. What? Right. I think... Oh, wait. There are more. There are more. A lot more.
Shooting that way.
Wrong one. Someone? Sure. Not sure I can shoot through this. Huh. Who will be next? Wait, maybe two. Can't really see you. But that doesn't matter.
Could something be here?
And there you go. So, nobody on this side? Just the two up there. Come back. You first. Yes. Oh, you. Wait. I think that there is a second wave. Oh, no, 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 you haven't seen me.
That's a shame.
Let's try this spot. Enough. I mean, can kill bigger machines. So I think people won't be a problem. No, you come back. Let me shoot you.
That's the last of them.
Alert. H structural failure. Repeat.
Or not.
Alert. Structural failure prevents access.
Room's clear. For a moment, anyway.
Then get moving. You have to find Gaia.
Yeah. Well, it helps if you know what will happen. So... And we have some left over. Let's pick everything up.
I can't spare the weight.
No. No, no, Aloy. Put it down. We don't want this. There was more around here. Right. No data point? Anywhere? No. So... let's see what they have. And there is a data point. And there are some more.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephestos. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So you probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. Waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephestos isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulations, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it. If Hephestos was part of a system designed to save life, why would it use cyan to make a cauldron? And churn out machines with no other purpose than to kill people?
Somehow it's gone rogue. I don't understand why or how. But whatever the reason, it explains why machines have become more dangerous over the years.
Yeah. Oh, we picked something else up. Oh. Which one? Text was text. This one. Right, that is from Elizabeth Sobeck to Margot Shan. Full steam ahead. Margot, I doubted your brilliance in the slightest. If I doubted your brilliance in the slightest, I wouldn't have picked you as the Hephestos Alpha. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication style. You are who you are. Have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point. The latest draft of your plan for the construction and stocking of bootstrap silos to store raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry core and the Foundry site selection plan, add up to a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. One detail. Consult with Iomede or Kilo before you finalize the silo in inventories. Hephestos' first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes, so any exotic materials needed for the towers should be accounted for in the inventory plan. Elizabeth. Right. Yeah, she was very successful in constructing Hephestos, or her team was very successful. So, there was something else. Simulation results. From Margot Shan to Elizabeth Sobeck. Simulation results. Wow, you weren't kidding about Gaia's predilection for animal morphologies. Sure, not totally unexpected, given the rough natural terrain her bots will have to navigate, but I agree that there's something deeper going on here. Her designs aren't just functional. They feel almost like, well, tributes is the word that comes to mind. As though she's already mourning their loss. And not just for the disappearing fauna of our time, but creatures from the fossil record too. References to megafauna in some of her designs. So cool. Yeah, we've seen the results. Well, whatever Gaia thinks up, Hephestos will empower her to build it. I just wish we could still be around in a century or two to see what she makes. Margot. Right. Big machines. And maybe not quite as planned. So... Is there anything else to pick up? Pocado? No. Then let's move on. Oh, okay, that's just a repeat. Margot-chan. Not what we want to do. Ooh.
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Okay. What shapes? Oh, these. These are the symbols for the different functions. Right. Move on. Move on, Aloy. Anything to pick up? No. That's where we have to go. Oh, okay. It's above where we were.
I think this is it. Elizabeth Sobek's office. But it's sealed off. There's got to be a way inside.
Keep looking.
Yeah, we'll find it.
More eclipse.
Careful now.
Right. A lot more. Come on, let me mark you. And there's a heavy. Everybody accounted for? No. Somebody else? No. Unfortunately, you can't shoot them from up here. Theoretically, that should work. Practically, it doesn't. We have to go down there. Supplies? Oh, but, data points.
Welcome to Apollo, the collective memory of the human species and the wellspring of knowledge for future generations. I am Samina Ebaji. Until recently, I was director of the International Collective Memory Institute in New Tehran. As a heritage professional, I devoted my career to the preservation of human knowledge, creative endeavor, and cultural achievement. Apollo is, therefore, the ultimate embodiment of a lifelong passion, albeit under the very worst circumstances imaginable. The challenges before us are immense. Specifically, we will have to design and implement 4 major initiatives simultaneously. First, the construction of data repositories in CRADLE facilities around the world, ensuring redundancy. Second, the collection and processing of a projected 180 million discrete data entries. 42 zettabytes of data in Mandarin, English, Spanish, and Arabic. Third, the transferal and encoding of all that data onto DNA encapsulated in synthetic fossils. The only medium capacious and durable enough to safeguard it without degradation for the centuries to come. And last, but not least, the development of the holographic interface and gamified curricula, by which future humans will commune with Apollo, progressively unlocking heuristic learning modules, leveling up their knowledge and skills they will need to take control of the terraforming system. That is the future towards which all of our efforts will be directed. Not just the preservation of the past, but the seed for the flourishing of a new tree of knowledge. Welcome, and let us begin.
Yeah, well, that didn't happen, did it? Something prevented it. Encapsulated DNA. And that's an email from Samina Baji to Elizabeth Sobek. And the winner is Encapsulated DNA. Over the past 10 days, I performed an exhaustive review of data storage solutions. Magnetic, optical, quantum. Even that eternity tech that FAS was shilling a year or so ago. But every other solution has one or more fatal shortcomings. Too heavy to transport, too massive to install in the allotted space, too power intensive over the centuries, too prone to failure past 300 to 400 years, etc. Encapsulated DNA will easily hold the 40 plus zettabytes we're projecting for Apollo. There are still many details to finalize, of course. To start with, we need to select the inert material in which we'll embed the molecules, already testing 16 candidate materials, as well as design and fabricate the power systems and sealed reliquaries that will keep the DNA at minus 18 degrees centigrade for 1,000 plus years. So long as I assure you that it didn't factor into my decision, may I confess that I deem it entirely fitting, indeed propitious, that we will be using the very building blocks of life to preserve human knowledge from mechanized extinction? It's not just ironic, but heroic. Life as the hero, beating back the forces of oblivion. In any case, much to do. Until next time, peace be with you, Samina. Yeah, they stored a lot of information, but it went missing. And this one is down there. Apollo updates. Again, Samina Budgie to Elizabeth Sobek. Over the past 2 months, the full benefit of our procurement of a copy of the Home Archive from Far Zenith has made itself known, and as a result, all of Apollo's key deliverables are on schedule. Apollo has already surpassed 40 million discrete data entries and continues to grow. The physical science modules are effectively complete, with soft science modules close behind. World history, cultural data, and media archives are also on schedule. Language preservation is wrapping up a bit ahead of schedule due to falling short of our goal to preserve 4,500 languages. Oh my god. I suppose the tragic early loss of Papua New Guinea doomed that goal from the outset, with attendant curricular development about to begin. Speaking of the heuristic curricula, they are performing well in testing with children and adolescents, demonstrating high levels of engagement with and trust in the Aristotle and Aspasia persona. Personally, I find them highly engaging, especially when they debate. I wish half my professors had been so entertaining. I was just thrown from about Aspasia. Okay, we've met her in Odyssey. So, peace be with you, Samina. Right. Okay, let's take care of some... some guys. Just to have a safe point. Always good to establish a safe perimeter. Right. I just got 2 in 1! I got 2 in 1! Right. Someone up there. Can we get you? Ah, frick. Yeah, I don't think we can get you there. Why are they unmarked? I think we can get them. Huh. They're more unmarked. Oh, come on.
All of this lost. The Ancient's greatest gift to us.
Greatest? How about the fact we exist at all?
To abide in ignorance is a curse, Aloy. You of all people should know that.
Get out of there. You should have looked forward. You coming over? Come on. Well, there he goes. I think that's...
Patience.
Yeah, and that's the only one left. So, let's go get you. Aloy, don't pick up the Deathbringer. Alright. Let's collect first. Okay, don't want this.
So they woke up.
What? Thought he was facing the other way.
I see him.
What? Aloy, you don't know how to do this. I was hoping for a silent strike, but you can't once he's alert. Really? Come on, simmer down. He's not gonna come down. And your timer is almost done. Right. That surprise you, hopefully.
That's the last of them. Down once more.
That
What
was...
should have been a cave of wonders.
still a cave of wonders. We... Oh, okay. Was just dropped to ledge. Thought we could activate this. What's this then?
Dr. Sobek, please archive this testimonial in Apollo. Cross-reference to all mentions of my name and Operation Enduring Victory. My name is General Aaron Harris. From 2060 to 2066, I served as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest-ranked officer of the United States Armed Forces. The tenure of my command included strategic planning and oversight of Operation Enduring Victory, a falsehood perpetrated on the civilian populations of the United States and other nations during the last 14 months of life on this planet. Before the Pharaoh Plague, I did my job and did it well. I was bold and decisive, crafty in political maneuvers. It wasn't an accident that I rose to my position and became the commander of the largest mechanized force ever assembled. But to what end? My only lasting achievement was the extinction of life on Earth. And my one redeeming act, if any, was to delay that extinction by days or weeks, by throwing more death at it. It is my hope that there will be no need for men like me in the world to come. If you are one of the people of that future world listening to this message, please know that I am sorry and that I wish you well. Sincerely, Aaron Harris.
Yeah, but then it worked. The plan actually worked. Aloy, up. Right. Ooh.
Welcome to Hades, Zero Dawn's extinction failsafe protocol, the ultimate killer app. Now, I know what you're thinking. The purpose of Gaia is to resurrect life. So why give her a subordinate function, only purpose of which is to wipe out life all over again? I mean, what? Just plumb crazy, ain't it? Well, no, it isn't. Reconstituting a biosphere? That's a tall order. Tech smart as Gaia may be, odds are she won't get it right the first time. I mean, imagine you're Gaia 200 years from now and this new biosphere growing, it's all gone wrong. Alkalines are skyrocketing, coniferous forests eroding under the lash of superstorms that would have drowned Noah. It's chaos, a spinning top that won't stop wobbling. Now what are you gonna do? Release phase 1 organisms into that hot mess? Hope their CO2 and methane can balance out what you got started? Hell no. What you're gonna do, Gaia, is step aside while Hades takes over and does what you're just too darn nurturing and life-loving to do, which is burn that misbegotten mess of a biosphere to the ground so Gaia can start over. Okay, not burn, more like reverse terraforming operations and suffocate it. But you get the idea. Hades takes the biosphere back to zero. Square one, blank slate. And then, only then, does it hand the steering wheel back to Gaia and say, try again, old girl. And better this time, or we'll have to do this again. That's Hades. It's pretty badass when you think about it. Extinction on demand. Death on speed dial. All for the greater good, of course, but still, kind of metal. So welcome to Hades. Welcome to the void.
Okay, so if that's the original purpose of Hades, why does it want me extinct? And how's it end up in the wreckage of a pharaoh titan getting worshipped by the Eclipse like some kind of god?
If Hephestos went rogue, why not Hades too?
That's what I'm thinking, but why? And what caused it?
Keep searching, and perhaps we'll find the answer.
Yeah. It seems Hades did not perform according to his tasks. At least not quite, because Gaia evidently got it right. Noise complaints. Travis Tate to Elizabeth Soback. Color me confounded, Lizzie. Bashcore? Anyone who says the old TT course to Bashcore is straight up lying. And you know it. Or Trev don't have no truck with commercialized razzle dash. Nah. Oh my god. I cannot do this accent. Heck, I'd rather guzzle a liter of Citarum run off than listen to Grace Warm for 30 seconds. Hand to God and swear on my mama's grave, and she was religious. Nah, that ain't Bashcore blasting the Hades lab, shaking the walls, rattling folks' teeth. It's death metal, girl. classical music, yeah. 80s and 90s mostly. Got me some Dutch deathcore, some Japanese gore grind, some Swedish cannibal-themed stuff too. Stop by if you want to listen. Or heck, just come within 50 meters of the lab. Ain't no bashcore, you'll see. Or hear, rather, in the screech that rends the air, and feel in the throbbing pulse of the floor and walls and ceiling swallowing you up like you was Jonah trapped in the gullet of gothic deathfish. Hallelujah! As for those requests to turn it down, no can do, Lizzie. This is how I code. Turn down my death metal, might as well give up stimulants, chocolate malts, and industrial accident bits. God, that guy's weird. Last I heard, we was supposed to be coding Hades down here. Am I really supposed to code an extinction protocol without death metal to inspire me? Nah, I don't think so. Stay cool, Trev. Well, he's right in a way. You need inspiration for this. I think he had it. Right. What else? There's another one. I guess that's also from Travis. Hades Protocol. Tate here just popped 3 blues, but I earned it. Finally figured out a Goldilocks solution to Gaia's rather extreme executive authority that ain't worth 10 to 12 hours of dream time. What is? Before this, every usurpation protocol I designed failed in simulation because it was either too hard or too soft. Too hard, and it degraded the Gaia core, sure. It pried her figurative fingers off the figurative driving wheel so Hades could take control, but by breaking her fingers, sometimes her arms too, so they couldn't fly. Everything depends on Gaia taking control after Hades has done its business, so I had to find a solution that didn't leave Gaia any worse for the wear. Too soft, and Gaia only pretended to relinquish control. In simulation after simulation, Hades would take command of the terraforming system and reverse operations, only to have Gaia lurk in the background, quietly reversing processes and falsifying telemetry to hide its interference. Sneakily, I swear. Ain't nothing Gaia wouldn't do to keep life going, even when it's just simulated plant life. Turns out the just right solution is to isolate Gaia in a protective code shell, preserving its integrity, then unseat it from command position so Hades can slip into the figurative captain's chair and work its magic. Those blues are coming on strong now, so I'm not really describing it so clear, but pretty sure it'll work. Yeah, those blues are plenty strong. Guess it's time to sleep. In bed. I'll be back tomorrow. Alligators. Oh yeah, he's out. Right. So Hades seemed to have ousted Gaia in some way. And there's one more. You think? Archive abuse. I budgeted Travis Tate. Copy Elizabeth Sobeck. Mr. Tate, this mail concerns Apollo Archive submission, long number, your 666th submission in just 5 days, and oh, what a doozy. Despite earlier warnings, Ray inappropriate materials, you chose to submit 265 holographic remasters of acknowledged classics of extreme exploitation cinema. Allow me then to thank you on 2 counts. First, for giving me the pleasure of rejecting your submission, thereby consigning your favorite Eastern European torture flicks and their ilk to the dust heap of oblivion. It truly warms my heart to know that I have saved future humanity from the ordeal of experiencing not just one, but all 16 installments of making a millipede. Don't worry, the Pasolini material has already been preserved, extreme perhaps, but art. Second, for clarifying a concept that has so long been ambiguous and ethically fraught for archivists such as myself, the definition of obscenity. You have freed me from the subjective quagmire embodied in Judge Potter's famous utterance, "I know it when I see it." Thanks to you, I can now apply a single objective criterion. If Travis Tate submitted it, it's obscene. Accordingly, I have directed Apollo staff to summarily reject all of your future submissions, sight unseen. Perhaps you might invest the time you would have spent preparing further submissions on, I don't know, your assigned work? We have a world to save after all. Or the rest of us do, anyway. Dr. Semina and Budgie. Oh, I think he cheesed her off. So... Right. All information collected?
Looks like the only way onwards.
Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Darn it. There's no end to it. FZ Chambers, Patrick Brochard Klein to Elizabeth Sobeck. The ectogenic chambers arrived 2 days ago, so we're in a different department now. I spent the last 36 hours examining them and poring over technical documentation. There's a revelation. Astonishing. I don't know what you had to give Far Zenith and Trey to get these chambers, but it was worth it. In a single leap, their embryologists have vaulted past 50 years of technological shortcomings. The risks of ECMO resolved, nutrition delivery resolved, hormonal stability resolved, 12 other risk areas resolved. Before I examined these chambers, I considered the Odyssey to be a fool's errand. But if the rest of FZ's technology is at this level, well, a human colony around Sirius doesn't seem so impossible after all. Mass fabrication of the chambers will present a number of challenges, but I'm confident they can be resolved. I'm going to rest for a few hours, then get back to it. Expect a fabrication plan within 48 hours. PBK. So, that's where they plan to make new humans afterwards.
Welcome to Eleuthia, the crown and king of Gaia's subordinate functions. For it is by Eleuthia that the human race will continue to exist. I am Patrick Brochard-Klein, the Alpha in charge of this program. Now let one thing be perfectly clear from the outset. Eleuthia is not a genetic engineering project. Our goal is to preserve the human genome, not alter it. A snapshot of human genetic diversity, literally frozen in time. The genetic quintessence of our species, unmodified. Under my watch, our activities and initiatives will comply with the 2034 clone provisions and the 2048 Rally Accords. Now that may seem a quaint, even trivial concern to you in light of present circumstances. But, as one of the authors of the Accords, it is far from trivial to me. The practical challenges before us are staggering in scope and complexity, but not insurmountable. No. Global collation and provisional storage of zygotes, perfection of exogenic technologies, design and perfection of servitors, to provide nurture and inculcation during early child development. All of these program components must and will proceed in tandem. To say nothing of the breakneck construction of CRADLE facilities at sites around the world. So, si vous êtes prêts, let us begin.
Okay. Well, that part, at least, worked. Otherwise, nobody would be around. So, Patrick to Elizabeth, CRADLE Servitor PERSONRE. Development of the artificial Persone for CRADLE servitors. Nurturer, disciplinarian, healer, continues at a good pace. We're targeting Turing 0.4 for these constructs. This should allow low-grade empathy and limited improvisation without undermining adherence to codified behavior sets. The stimulus-driven switching of personae, however, is proving to be a greater software challenge than anticipated, especially concerning our entrenched feedback loops between the disciplinarian and the healer personae. I've also attached the reports from an incident where a servitor running the mother persona intervened on a disciplinarian servitor's behavior. Rather human. A parental argument, if you will. Amusing on first glance, perhaps, but deeply concerning. I have attached a comprehensive plan for correcting these interactive protocol shortcomings in just Data Corrupted. God, they thought of everything. And there's one more. Cradle sealed. Again from Patrick to Elizabeth. Ulyssia 01 was successfully sealed before the swarm advancing across Xinjiang province could detect it. Pingback from crucial systems is good. For our maiden voyage, a success. Regards my disputes with the betas over Zygosh selection. Of course, I understand we have limited overhead to run simulations of gene flow in our future humans, but we can all agree there is margin for refinement in future cradle populations. Donk. In addition to personally overseeing completion of the Ulyssia 02 site inside Mount Namuli, I will formulate and propose a modified zygote selection plan within the week. Yeah, who do you choose to repopulate the world? Huh. Oh yeah, not to forget the supply crate. Onwards and upwards. If we can find it. Oh, get stuck. Okay. Stairs. Down the stairs.
Cradle facilities. Elizabeth said a new generation of humans would be spawned inside such places.
She did.
All Mother Mountain. It was one of them?
There's only one way to be sure.
The hatch wouldn't open. Something about a corrupted alpha registry. I need to search Elizabeth's office.
Definitely. There it is, and we're stuck. Right, okay. I think I'm going to stop here because there's a lot more information and a bit more action-driven part to this. Yeah, I can't break at that point then. So, yeah, I'll stop here. Learned a lot more, and I think now we have 3, maybe 4 parts to one facility. Oh boy. Right, hope you won't get tired of this. Okay, but I find it all interesting. So, well, if you've made it up to this point, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.